Well, hello everybody and welcome back to my channel. If you are new here, my name is Sophia. I make bookish videos, mainly videos about mystery thriller books, but a little bit of everything. And today I'm back with what I hope will become a bookish tradition on this channel, which is my top 10 mystery thriller books that I have read in the past year. Bit of a caveat to that. So I'm counting the year as from this moment, meaning October 2024 to October 2025, just because I think this is a fun little thing to do in the fall time, being that it is spooky season, and I didn't want to miss out those 3 months of books. So the past full year. And I truly read so many thriller books in that time period. It is the genre that I read most on my channel. So in that time period, I read 33 mystery thriller books, and only 10 were able to make the cut to be in today's video. So I'm really, really excited to share these books with you, share how much I love them with you. And without further ado, let's go ahead and get started. So coming in at number 10, we have One of the Girls by Lucy Clark. I read this thriller because I was reading wedding-related thrillers when I was planning my wedding this past year, and it seems like a genre that is just growing and growing and growing. So it's perfect being a thriller lover and somebody getting married this year to enjoy some of those. But this one is a bachelorette thriller. It follows a group of girls that go to this beautiful Greek villa in the summertime, I believe, and they are just enjoying some time before the bride, of course, gets married. But things don't quite go as planned. This one was really fun. It was very fast-paced, very twisty. It's multiple perspectives, so you get little snippets from each of the girls. And at the beginning, I wasn't quite sure how I felt about that because I couldn't quite differentiate all the points of view. But as we went on, you really started to sink into each of the girls' stories. This kept me engaged throughout the whole time. I think it would be the perfect thriller to read on a vacation because the atmosphere was just so central in this one. You felt like you were in this beautiful villa, but of course with some dark grittiness as well. It's a book I only gave 3.5 stars, but I think back on it and I just remember the reading process of this one being so enjoyable and it being kind of a surprising, lovely little thriller that I read this year. So highly recommend that one, especially if you are going on a vacation anytime soon. Next up, we have The Moving Finger by Agatha Christie. This is the third published Miss Marple book and is part of a project that I'm doing on my channel where I read all of the Miss Marple books in publication order. And this so far has been my favorite one. So we follow a man named Jerry Burton. He's the narrator for the story, and I really love reading from his perspective. And at the beginning, he has just gotten in an accident. The doctor tells him, go into the country, get yourself some nice country air, become involved in a little scandal, a little bit of drama, and that will make everything better. So he goes to this small town in Devon, and scandal he does get involved in because as soon as he gets there with his sister Joanna, people in the village start getting these letters that have very scandalous accusations, lies about everybody. And of course, because this is a small village, it is something that people care about deeply. Reputations are tarnished, and everybody is trying to figure out who is writing these letters. But then there is an apparent suicide, and what seems to be at first was a kind of silly and frustrating joke turns a little bit more dangerous. So we follow this small town during this very tumultuous time. And of course, we get a little bit of Marple in this one as she is trying to figure out the mystery. I loved this because it felt very cozy, and in my review of this one, I said it felt very Jane Austen-esque, which is kind of crazy for a Agatha Christie, but I loved the quirkiness. I loved the snarky commentary about the people in the town. I loved that so much of it was kind of observing the behavior and reputation of other people, and it just filled my heart. I loved it so much. So I gave this one a 4 stars. I'm really excited to pick up the next Marple because that is the most recent one that I have read, and it was an absolute treat from start to finish. Next up, we have The Long Call by Anne Cleeves. This is the first book in the Matthew Venn series, another detective series that I am fully in the middle of. Although, can we really call Marple a detective? She wants to be. She's better than most of them. But anyways, this is about a detective, Matthew Venn. He lives in Devon and he kind of solves mysteries there. And this very first one follows a man, or a mystery where a man is found murdered on the beach. And this is his hometown where he's from. And so we have a lot of like past and present playing into this, and small town vibes. I love the atmosphere. I also really loved the interplay between the multiple detectives in this story. We have 3 main people that are investigating this. Not all of them are perfect people, but I think like the interplay, the commentary about them all made it really, really interesting. I have since read the next 2 in the series, which I both thoroughly enjoyed, but the first one is still my favorite, and I'm very excited for hopefully book 4 to be announced very soon. Coming in at number 7, we have Broken Country by Claire Leslie Hall. This is kind of a mystery, I would say, set in the 1950s and 60s. In the 50s, we follow this budding love between Beth and Gabriel. Beth is very poor, and Gabriel is kind of the very rich, privileged boy in the town as they're growing up, and they fall head over heels in love with each other. And then you flash forward into the 1960s, and Beth is married to another man named Frank at that time. You're not quite sure what happened with Beth and Gabriel, but Gabriel moves back to the town. He's newly divorced, and we kind of follow this love triangle of sorts between the characters. However, the thing that makes it a mystery thriller is you also get little excerpts from a trial that's going on of somebody who has passed away, and you don't know how this happened, but you know that the love triangle kind of plays some part in it. So you're piecing together those clues. I gave this one a 4 stars. It was so thoroughly readable and so absorbing. I really loved the interplay between all these characters, even if some of them are extremely irritating people and make not the best decisions all the time. And overall, this was a super solid read. I have now all of Claire Leslie Hall's books in my possession, although not all of them are mystery thrillers, and Broken Country so far is my favorite. Next, we have Middle of the Night by Riley Sager, one of his books that hasn't been super loved recently, but I really, really liked it. So this book takes on the theme of toxic suburbia. What is behind the perfectly manicured lawns and white picket fences? Is it all as idyllic as it seems? And we follow 2 boys who are growing up on this cul-de-sac. They decide to do a very fun, classic summer activity, which is to camp out in the backyard in a tent. And when one of them wakes up in the morning, the other boy is gone, and he has never been found since then. We flash forward to when the surviving boy is 40 years old. He decides to come back to the neighborhood, and he is essentially trying to figure out what happened to the boy all those years ago. This is a really fun summer thriller. I thought the atmosphere was great in here. It felt very like nostalgic and eerie at the same time. And it's actually in the top half of the Riley Sagers that I've read. So while it wasn't for everyone, I really, really thoroughly enjoyed it and give it 4 stars. So now we're in the top 5. Coming in at number 5, we have The Missing Half by Ashley Flowers. Ashley Flowers is known for being the podcast host of Crime Junkie, which is one of the most popular true crime podcasts. But she has 2 mystery thriller novels. The first one is All Good People Here, which was kind of middle of the road for me. The second one, The Missing Half, was a super solid one. This is a very short, summary thriller, and we follow 2 girls who have something in common, and that is that both of their sisters went missing a long time ago. These 2 girls team up and try and solve what happened to their sisters. It is teeming with summer imagery. One of the girls works at like a summer fun park, amusement park, which just feels very nostalgic. And the twist got me in this one. It got me really good. This was super readable, super fun, fast-paced, and overall a very, very solid second book for Ashley Flowers, and I will certainly continue reading the rest of her work. Next, coming in at number 4, we have Marble Hall Murders, the third book, and I believe the finale in the Susan Ryland series. This is a very, very fun mystery series that I have seen to the end, and it is about an editor, Susan Ryland, who edits mystery books for a very famous mystery thriller writer. And we kind of follow that over time. I don't want to spoil anything, so I'm not going to tell you more than that, but that's just the general premise of the series. And usually you have the manuscript of the mystery thriller writer's book, and you also have some kind of real world mystery, and they're somehow linked. I love the attention to detail, the Sherlock Holmesian-ness of this. Like, if somebody is drinking some beverage on page 20, you best believe it is going to be in the conclusion on page 550. And there's something so satisfying about that. Although I will say on page 400, you're usually a little bit frustrated and want some clues and want something to get resolved. But I have thoroughly, thoroughly loved this entire series. There is also a TV adaptation on PBS Masterpiece, I believe, which I watched a little bit of and do definitely want to continue because it was a really, really fun watch while I was in it. And overall, Anthony Horowitz can do no wrong, at least in that series for me. I love this one and gave it 4 stars. Coming in at number 3, we have Mad Honey by Jodi Picoult and Jennifer Finney Boylan. This is I would say, kind of mystery thriller. I'm going to put it in this video, but I think you could also make an argument that it's kind of more of a contemporary book as well. This is a kind of high school relationship meets murder mystery of sorts. So you're following 2 different stories. One, you get Lily's perspective. Lily is the girl who is murdered, and her kind of budding relationship with this other high school boy, Asher. And then in the other perspective, you're getting Asher's mom, Olivia, later in the trial after Lily has died. You're following, like, do you trust Asher? Did he do it? Did he not? How does his mother feel about him? There's lots of other commentary in here, and I don't want to give too much away because I don't want to give spoilers. But I thought the character work in here was really excellent. It was super, super readable and just overall a really, really fun, pacey time. And I think it brought up a lot of really important issues in a really nuanced and beautiful way. So I gave this one a 4.5 stars and really enjoyed it. All right, we're in our top 2. Coming in at number 2, we have We Are All Guilty Here by Karen Slaughter. This is a first book in a new mystery thriller series and one of my favorite books I've read this year. I gave it 4.5 stars and absolutely loved it. So we are in North Falls, which is a very small town. It is the 4th of July, and the town is celebrating with fireworks in a traditional summer celebration. But that night, 2 girls go missing. And we kind of follow the aftermath of that with Detective Emmy Clifton, who is a detective in the North Falls Police Department. The Clifton family is very prominent in North Falls. In fact, her dad is very high up in the police department, and many other Cliftons kind of run the town. But we're really following Emmy's investigations, looking into the secrets that these girls had, both the high school secrets and gossip that they had as they were kind of in high school at the time, but also what lies beneath in North Falls, from a seemingly idyllic small town America to the very deadly secrets underneath the surface. I loved this. I love the writing. It was so pacey and fun. I love the fact that this is a series and I'm already in love with so many of the characters in here. It was just absolutely fantastic. And if you're looking for a new mystery thriller series, particularly a police procedural, I would highly recommend this one. And coming in at number 1, I have read 33 mystery thriller books, and there's only one that has the honor of being a 5-star in my book, and I love this book so dearly. A book that I will not shut up about on my channel, so you probably have heard me gab about it if you've watched any of my other videos, but that is All the Dangerous Things by Stacey Willingham. This is pure gold in my eyes. I absolutely loved it. We are following Isabel Drake, who 1 year ago, her infant son was disappeared from his crib. We're following her a year later as she is desperately trying to find out what happened to her son, whether that's at true crime conventions, or snooping on all of her neighbors and desperately just trying to find what happened to him. This is about motherhood, maternal guilt. It's about, do you really know yourself and do you really know the people around you? I loved how descriptive this writing was. It just like drips in like beautiful, gorgeous, stunning description of the South of the US in this period of like hopelessness. And it's just so immersive and so good. I absolutely gave it 5 stars. I have slowly been working my way through all of the other Stacey Willingham books, and so far have not been disappointed. And it's one that I think that you should definitely check out. So with that, those are all of my favorite mystery thriller books. What a year. What a year. Like so many excellent books that I read this year. And I can't wait to see where this series goes. Maybe 10 years from now, I will still be doing this. Who knows? I would love to know if you've read any of the books that I talked about today. What did you think of them? And with that, I will see you guys very soon with another video. Bye.